One of my reasons for being here minus this is that I should come and ask you some weekend. This position of chairman had been zoned to Rivers State, chairman of Ohaneze. Yes, on weekend, the Igbo side should ask you what is your interest.
I have no doubt that everyone in this room will love to see Ohaneze Ndigbo attain a bigger clout as the champion of Igbo interests.
Because it is now very clear that if we don't solve our problems ourselves, nobody will solve our problems for us.
Election was held on the 9th that culminated into the early hours of 10th of January 2025. In 2017, the Ohaneze elections were held in Enugu because the President General coming from Enugu, who emerged from Enugu, Chief Nyawodo, is from Enugu, and the election was held in Enugu. In 2021, it was the turn of Imo State to produce the President General. The election was held in Imo State. In 2025, it is the turn of Rivers State to produce the President General. The election was held in Port Harcourt. The election was concluded in the wee hours of 10th of January 2025. I, Dim Uchechukwu Namokuku, former Secretary General Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide, I emerged victorious in that election.
Mr. Okuku.
I don't know about any election that was held in Government House in Enugu.
Viewers, this is BVI Channel 1 and we are live again on Matters Horizon. Let me start by saying Happy New Year to every one of you, because this is just the very first live broadcast we'll be having this year, and we are starting with Ohaneze Ndigbo. What inspired on 10th of January, just about a couple of days ago, is something that should be a great concern to every Igbo person globally. If you are searching how things have really gone wrong in Igbo land, lack of leadership, sellout, and the deprivation of Ndigbo in Nigeria, this is a complete display of it. And you need to be sharing this video, not just sharing, your voice is needed to be heard. Let us start with the question. Someone asked Mwike, and I'll be repeating that same question right here for all Igbo politicians. Let's get to that. I'll be right back.
It's not important in this country. One of my reasons for being here minus this is that I should come and ask you some weekend. This position of chairman had been zoned to Rivers State, chairman of Ohaneze. Yes, on weekend, the Igbo side should ask you what is your interest.
Now, today on Matters Arising, this is this exact question I will be asking, or every concerned Igbo person will be asking the Nigerian Igbo politicians. With respect to what happened at Enugu, you are going to hear and understand when we say that what you have today is Ohaneze Ndi politicians, or your forward march to what transpired in Enugu and where the information is coming from. Take a look.
Let's turn attention to the southeast, where the Ohaneze Worldwide has elected the former member representing Rivers East Senatorial District, Senator John Azuta Umbata, as the new President General of the organization. The election was witnessed by 4 out of 5 governors, with Mbonyi represented and a host of other Igbo leaders in Enugu State. A senior reporter, Bamidele Ajayi, has more.
Converge on this auditorium are Ohaneze Ndigbo stakeholders from the 7 Igbo-speaking states. One after another, the delegates arrived at the old government lodge Enugu to elect a new ESCO of the Apex Igbo Sociocultural Organization. In his opening remark, the host governor Peter Mbah commended the group for being the rally point for Igbo people worldwide. He advocates strong collaboration among Igbo people to foster unity that is devoid of narrow interest.
The summary is that failing to unite leaves us prone as a single arrow. Standing as a unit imbues us with the resilience of the entire stack. Let us be like a stack of arrows. I have no doubt that everyone in this room will love to see Ohaneze Ndigbo attain a bigger clout as the champion of Igbo interests.
Governor of Imo State underscores the need to foster strong ties among Igbo people in the country.
The governors who want Ohaneze to unite as a family, to look for homegrown solutions for our problems, because it is now very clear that if we don't solve our problems ourselves, nobody will solve our problems for us.
The newly elected Ohaneze Ndigbo executive, headed by Senator John Mbata, expressed gratitude to delegates for their trust and support, promising to work towards uniting Igbo people and addressing pressing issues.
It's a new dawn for Ndigbo. The legacy of our late President, Chief Emmanuel Iwanyam, lives on.
With the emergence of Senator John Mbata, it has nailed that coffin of mistrust, that coffin of disunity.
The Ohaneze Ndigbo President General hails from Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State, whose turn is to produce the next President General position of the Ohaneze Ndigbo. It will be succeeding Fidelis Osichukwuchukwu, whose tenure has ended. His election marks a significant milestone for the Igbo community as it aligns the commitment of inclusivity and representation from various regions within the Igbo-speaking areas. Bamidjili Ajayi, TVC News.
I know by now you have no doubt about what really it means to have Ohaneze in the politicians. But it's not for me to say. When the lines are open, you can make your submission. Now, forward march to what happened in Rivers State, precisely Port Harcourt, where another election was held by Ohaneze Ndigbo, where Uche Okuku emerged as President General. Let's take a look at that, then we'll come back to dissect it.
Good evening, Uche Okuku, and thanks for joining me on Newsnight.
It's good to make hay while the sun shines. That's why, my dear friend, we're telling you
I
about the
just
Airport
wanted
City
to ask
Estate
you
Umueri.
about
The new Anambra
election
International
that
Cargo and
happened
Passenger
today
Airport in
in
Umueri
Harcourt.
is
I
now
don't know if
functional,
you
and
were
that has made the
listening
city
to
to
the
become a
conversation
beehive of
with my
activities.
other guest
Airport City
who
Estate
presided
Umueri is
over
now selling like a
another
hot
election
cake.
in
Any moment from now,
Enugu
the estate
that,
will sell out.
brought in
So,
Senator
it is
Mbata.
a
How
great
do you
opportunity that
respond
we
to
are
what
availing
happened
you
in
to be a
Enugu?
landlord and come and own a plot or more at Airport City Estate Umueri. The estate is on a table land. It is well beaconed and people are already developing their own plots of land.
The estate is only 5 minutes drive from the airport.
And a stone throw from Stella Maris College. As we talk, street by street demarcation is already going on in the estate. Remember that land never depreciates, it always appreciates. So even if you don't want to develop, you can sell your plot of land and make lots of profit.
With only 10 million naira, you can buy up to 3 plots.
To acquire our land, all you need to do is pay 10,000 naira registration and you shall be directed to see the land. If you like it, you can pay, and an irrevocable power of attorney, which implies that even the company cannot revoke your ownership of the land, will be given to you. We can also help you register the land and develop it at a moderate price. We act as surveillance. In case someone is helping you, we can always give you feedback on progress of work. Contact Committed Christian Friends, New Heaven Real Estate Company Limited today to acquire your own land at Airport City Estate Tumweri. We are at number 20 Ilosiodira, near Boromi Roundabout by Savoy Junction, Oka Road, Onitsha. For inquiries, call us on phone 07017870777.
Former Secretary General Ohaneze Ndigbo
Take it again. 07017870777.
victorious in that election.
0777.
I don't know
or
about,
you may also call
yes, I don't know about any election that was held in government house.
1808
government house in Enugu.
30.
It is not in line with our tradition.
38.
And of course, you don't hold election in government house.
30. Airport City Estate Tumweri is fast selling out. Get your own plot of land now at a moderate price for your complete peace of mind. CCF, your peace of mind is our commitment.
Or in Asorok. Elections are held in places that people can access. So I can authoritatively tell you that the delegates were in Port Harcourt and returned officers. Now, the question people want to ask, why in Port Harcourt? I've told you it was held here because it was the turn of Rivers State to produce the national president general. Thank you.
Mr. Okuku, if I can just come in here for a bit, while you're telling us what happened in Port Harcourt, we also would like to know who presided over the Port Harcourt elections and what other officers were elected in that election that took place in Port Harcourt.
Of course, you know, if you had read through the papers, Dr. Achi presided over the election that returned the officers. Dr. K.K. Oba emerged the Deputy President General from Abia State. Manafa Obi emerged the Secretary General from Anambra. All the offices were filled. The list is with admin secretary. As I've said, you don't do something outside the constitution, outside tradition, outside convention. It is a nullity.
You've said that you have no idea of whatever election happened in Enugu, but like it or not, there are reports that happened. We have reporters who were there at the election. The President Tinubu has congratulated the person that emerged President General in Enugu. But I just wanted to ask you, as President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide, how do you plan to reconcile factions of Ohaneze Ndigbo? Because at this time, this Igbo social cultural organization needs to be united, don't you think?
Of course, I strongly believe we need a united front. And of course, you will agree with me, you may not have knowledge of my background. I've committed my 30 years on this earth to the cause of the unity of the East and then the cause of Ndigbo. From 1995 to date is 30 years. In 1995, I was the National Legal Advisor, Eastern Nigeria Student Association. In 1997, I was the country director of ENDOA, the Eastern Nigeria Data Unity Association, a United Kingdom-based organization led by Chukwudu Bikazo. In the year 2000, I emerged the director of Legal Services, Movement for the Actualization of the Sovereign State of Biafra. I went to Washington, D.C. with Odumegwu Ojukwu, Wazirika, and others to open the Biafra House and Voice of Biafra International. In 2005, I was arrested and charged with treason along with other comrades. Released, I emerged that legal advisor, Ohaneze Youth Council. I was given an award for my position and principal position in Igbo land. The award was given to me by the Ohaneze Youth Council. The man who handed over the award to me was the late Ezife, former governor. I want to tell you, now, I have done a lot. I was Secretary General. If you Google me, I have been consistent that I'm an Igbo and that my people are Igbos. I had written articles in the past talking about Igbo unity, Igbo renaissance, that Igbos need to come together. So I'm irrevocably committed to the unity of Ndigbo. And I look forward to bringing the Igbos from the other states, you know, and bring them into Ohaneze as member states of Ohaneze. So I believe that we need one united Ohaneze.
All right, that is it. In case you're just joining us, this is Matters Horizon on BVI Channel 1. And we're talking about Ohaneze and the politicians in clash with the real Ohaneze and Ndigbo. Who should you give your support and loyalty to as the leader of Ndigbo? Is it the senator that emerged from the congregation of politicians in Enugu? Or is it Barrister Uche Okuku, the one that emerged from the election of Ohaneze and Ndigbo in Harcourt? Let's have your opinion on the comment section, and you can also call the numbers on the screen to air your opinion on this, because this is really very important for the existence of Ndigbo. In case you don't know, before now, Igbo interests have continued to be sacrificed on the altar of greed by Igbo politicians. And that altar of greed is Ohaneze and Ndigbo. They've used that platform as a place where they slaughter the interests of Ndigbo in Nigeria. And they have hijacked it to themselves to serve their political interest and not the interest of Ndigbo generally. And what happened on 10th is a clear, that is my own stance. I could be wrong. That's why we need your voice on the platform, on this live broadcast, because it's going to define the trajectory of Ndigbo moving forward this year and beyond. Seeing the crop of the so-called Igbo leaders, both religious, secular, and political, you see them gather in Enugu to slaughter the interests of Ndigbo at the altar of Ohaneze, as they call it. Tell me what is Ohaneze about this very concussion that happened at Enugu. Let us quickly take this call. Hello, good evening. This is BVI Channel 1, and you are live on Matters Horizon. Can we know your name and where you are calling us from? Hello, can we know your name and where you're calling us from?
Am I coming clear?
Yes, go on.
Hello.
Go on, we can hear you. Go on. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Ugochukwu. I am calling from Aba.
Ugochukwu, you're calling us from Aba?
I want to confirm my contribution based on what happened on 10th. Ohaneze and Ndigbo politicians and the people of Ohaneze and Ndigbo. The truth is that politicians have hijacked Ohaneze and Ndigbo, so it is not worthy to continue calling them Ohaneze and Ndigbo. We should change the name to Ohaneze and Ndigbo politicians. Because I can't see how they will go to Enugu and government has a manufactured the Ohaneze and Ndigbo for us, all of us. Then we continue to be calling them Ohaneze and Ndigbo. No, it can't happen. I don't recognize them personally. I don't recognize them as Ohaneze and Ndigbo. They are Ohaneze and the politicians. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your submission. Thank you very much for your submission. And we hope more other people will call in. You see, the caller from Aba actually concurred to our position that what we have was Ohaneze and the politician and not Ohaneze and Ndigbo. You know, before the election, I was very clear about the concern of how the delegates that even votes for these Ohaneze executives, how they emerge, how they are selected, who selected them. Are you involved? You as an Igbo man, were you involved? Do you even know that Ohaneze is having an election, despite the fact that we've been pushing and pushing and pushing and publicizing it as much as we can? Do you even know how these guys emerge? These guys emerge from the selection by politicians. And that's exactly what has played out. Let us quickly take this caller. Hello, this is BVI Channel 1 and you are live on Matters Arising. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, then go ahead with your submission.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Go ahead. Go ahead. We can hear you. Just go ahead. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from, then go ahead with your submission.
I want to talk to Chinedu.
We are speaking with Chinedu live on the program. Matters Arising, except you are not calling for the program.
Hello?
Maybe you have to call back again. If you are calling for the program, when you pick up your call, endeavor to tell us your name and go straight to the point. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from and go straight to the point, because we don't have any much time on this program today. We don't want to waste too much time on this program today because we are in for a serious business. And this business is all about Ndigbo. Okay? Let's have the caller back again. You are live on BVI Channel 1, Matters Arising. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from, please.
I'm calling from Onitsha.
All right. Tell us what's your name and what's your take on what we are talking about tonight. Tell us your name on what you are talking about. We are talking about Ohaneze Ndigbo election. What's your take on that? All right. Sorry about that. You may call us. We are live on our program. We don't need distraction for now. All right. We are still here and we are on Matters Arising. I think Ndubisi is already about joining us on this program tonight. And don't forget, the number to call is still on the screen. The number remains +234 810 4545 533. Call us and let us have your opinion. We are also going to be looking at some of your commentaries on the comment section and bringing it on live. I think Ndubisi is already here with us. If he's fully set up, we'll bring him on so that he can tell us his own opinion with respect to what we're talking about. So, what happened at Enugu is a clear indication that once again, the Igbo interests have been slaughtered, have been sacrificed, have been renewed by the political interest. It's not surprising to get this news. First of all, the one coming from TVC. And you see, it is critically the report of the politicians of what they did in Enugu. And also coming from Arise Television, the report of the Ohaneze Ndigbo, what happened in Port Harcourt. And you can hear one of the reporters say that even President Tinubu has congratulated his colleague in Enugu, that's the politicians, for a job well done, for successful sacrifice of Igbo interest for the next dispensation, as they call it, in their own mind. Whereas, the man Uche Okuku emerged, the president of Ohaneze Ndigbo, from the Ohaneze Ndigbo that happened at River State, Port Harcourt. Okay? They call it factional. Now there is faction. There is no faction as long as Ndigbo is concerned. But it's not me that will be saying that. It is up to you to air your opinion when you call the numbers as displayed on the screen, +234 810 4545 533. Now let's go to Ndubisi and get his own opinion with respect to what we are talking about now. All right, Ndubisi, I guess you are up and set for the program, and I believe I just hope your internet will be stable enough to flow through the program tonight. Now, bring on Ndubisi. Let us have this conversation while we expect your calls. When they come, we take them immediately. So, Ndubisi, good evening. Welcome to the program tonight on Matters Arising.
Yeah, good evening, Chinedu. Happy New Year to you. Welcome to the year 2025.
Yeah,
I'm happy to talk to you this year.
Yeah, sure. Although we have been talking, that's officially talking to me on BVI Channel 1. Unofficially, we have been into it. This season was really good. Good enough.
Yeah, enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, to the issue on ground, the Ohaneze and Ndigbo election. What happened? You know, at first, you fired the first shot and everybody was, praising God, singing hallelujah. So finally, Ohaneze has gotten it right. All of a sudden, a sad news followed that there is another faction, the one organized by politicians in Port Harcourt. Now, by politicians in Enugu. Now, how do you react to the emergence of Uchokuku from Port Harcourt election and the one that happened in Enugu by the politicians, where a politician emerged as the president general of Ohaneze and the politician, as the people call it? Let's have your opinion.
Yeah, thank you, Chinedu, for the question. And of course, greetings to our people all over the world. And I'm happy that this platform has succeeded 2024, and we are now in 2025 for the masses. The BVI is for public interest. We pursue public interest here, and we speak for the public. So let me say that life is all about struggle. I do not expect people to have Ohaneze at platter of gold, even though the name Ohaneze means this organization is for the masses. But from the time immemorial, since Ohaneze was registered, or since Igbo society adopted it as our first Igbo organization, I think in the year 1978 or 77, thereabouts, Before then, of course, Ohaneze, after the Civil War, there was a ban on any Igbo organization. But somewhere, somehow, the Igbo elites came together and packaged an organization known as Ohaneze. That was how it started. And ever since then, it has remained elitist organization. So it's not like it's unexpected that governors will handpick whoever they anoint. And that is exactly what they did on 10th. Well, when rebranding, people clamor for a democratic Ohaneze came on board, we developed interest and started following the campaign for the people's president general of Ohaneze. There was high hopes. Of course, a lot of people expected that because of the crisis in the country going on insecurity, because of economic doldrum, and because of confusion everywhere, we were thinking, or somebody like me personally, I was thinking that our political class, mostly our governors, must have learned their lesson. That is about the time to identify people's PG. It's only people's PG that will connect both physically and emotionally. Because if you have people's PG, it will be easier to talk to people and manage people's emotion. Once that is done, you can handle the issue of non-state actors. You can handle the issue of insecurity in terms of non-kinetic approach to address security issue in southeastern part of Nigeria. So that was my expectation, but I never knew that these our so-called governors have not learned anything. They have not learned anything at all. Now, see what happened. They believe that if Uche Okoko should emerge as a PG, you know, they will have somebody mouthpiece of FS Igbo. I can handle it.
No, sure, of course. And you, just like you rightly mentioned, Uche Okuku made mention of it as well. You cannot have an election free of political manipulation in the government house. Even the secular, normal political election is not being held in government houses. Ohaneze Ndigbo, even in Enugu, has their Imobi if they must organize that election in Enugu. And just like you rightly pointed out, when Enugu was producing their own Ohaneze, based on the rotational calendar and the arrangement of Ohaneze presidency, during the time of the Enugu to produce, they held the election in Enugu. During the time of Imo to produce, they held the election in Imo. At the time when Rivers is supposed to produce, the Ori Ohaneze held the election in Rivers State, Port Harcourt, whereas the politicians had picked their own anointed candidate in Enugu State. And that is a bit of a concern. And that is exactly what Uche Okuku had clearly stated. Now, to Ndigbo, what and how do you react? What do you say about it? How do you react to it? Who do you support? Do you support the leadership of Ohaneze Ndigbo by the politicians, the ones that is now called Ohaneze Ndi politicians? Or will you support the one as led by Uche Okuku? We want to have your opinion on this when you call us on our numbers that is still being displayed on the screen. The numbers still remain +2348104545533 to have your opinion on this very issue. Okay, and we'll also be going through our comment sections on our Facebook. We're streaming on all our social media platforms. In case you don't know, we are streaming on our Facebook page, BVI Channel 1. We're also streaming on our Instagram platform, BVI Channel 1 as well. You can also join us on our backup YouTube channel, BVI Channel 1 Plus. Subscribe and follow us on all of these platforms, and you will not miss a thing. You'll be properly engaged and informed with issues that concerns us as it concerns public interest. All right? Today we're talking about Ohaneze Ndigbo. Do you know how bad the lives of Ndigbo had become in Nigeria owing to the fact of the sellout by Ohaneze? And this is a clear sabotage. The people is considering what transpired on 10th of January 2025. So we want to have your opinion on this. Let's get your say on this very issue with respect to the election held, or the selection held in Enugu, and the election that held in Port Harcourt, River State. Okay, so when you do, we will bring it on. Let us quickly take some of the commentaries that we have here from. We have Chukwu de Valentine, thank you for joining. And we have Eze White, who said that, why are you joining an important issue which you brought to the public with the advert of real estate. I don't think this guy is I don't think he's commenting on the program. Okay, let us okay, Ezra White is actually asking here, please, I still want to know where the other elections of Ohaneze and Ndigbo is being held. Where are they held in? Were they held in the states where it is zone 2 or in Enugu as the meeting point of Ndigbo? Okay, that's a very good question. We're going to answer that very briefly. Let us quickly take this call from our brother. Hello, good evening. This is BVI Channel 1 and you are live. I think we lost that call already. You can call back in case you want to call to air your opinion on this issue. All right, now to the question our brother asked, Ezra White said, where is Ohaneze Ndigbo election held? From time immemorial, as it has always become the standard procedure, that election is being held in the state where it is zoned. Just like I've said earlier, where it is held in Enugu State was zoned to produce the president. In Imo State, the same. And also this time, why the difference? Okay, let us quickly take this caller. Hello, good evening. This is BVI Channel 1. You are live on Matters Arising. Let us have your name and where you're calling from. Then you tell us your own opinion.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening to you. Go ahead with your submission.
Yeah, is it, are you hearing me?
Go ahead.
Are you hearing me?
We can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead with your submission.
You see, it's a pity. Yes, I mean, it's a pity we have fallen into these politicians. Go ahead. Go ahead with your submission. Yes, I said it is a pity. We have fallen into the hands of these so-called politicians that are trying to ruin the Igbo's interest in everywhere, that are pursuing their own selfish interests. You see, these politicians has to be checkmated. Ohaneze Ndigbo does not hold in government house. If there's any election, it does not hold. Election does not hold in government house. The government house is now belong to those people who wants to sell the interests of Igbos to their own selfish interests, partners. So please, the Uche Okuku is the rightful election that's supposed to pilot the interests of Ndigbo under Ohaneze organization, and not that of the politicians that was held in Enugu. Thank you, Amogi Ikechukwu.
All right, thank you very much, Ikechukwu, for your submission. Thank you very much. Hello, this is BVI Channel 1. You are live on Matters Arising. Let us have your name and where you're calling from. Then you go straight to the point. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Kingsley. I'm calling from United States of America. I'm Chinedu. I know you very well, and we have been communicating for some time about this case, about this Ohaneze. Let me put something straight. There are a couple of questions you will ask Uche, and if he tell you the truth, you will know that the authentic Ohaneze president is Mbata. Ask him these questions. Number one, he started telling you about Enugu, where they held Enugu election. But he didn't start from the beginning. Number one, when they started rotation of Ohaneze president, they started with Abia State in 2003. Where did they hold the election? Did they hold it in Abia State? Ask Uche that question. He will not tell you. He will only tell you half truth. The election was between Professor Anya O. Anya and Professor Joe Iungu. Joe Iungu won the election. Where did they hold the election? Number two, the after they said it was Anambra State, where did they hold the election? Did they hold it in Anambra? That is the second question Okuku should answer, meaning that he's not telling you the truth. The third one was in Delta State. Did they hold it in Asaba? They did not. The fourth was Ebonyi. Where did they hold it? Now, let me tell you the truth. Election of Ohaneze, the venue is determined by NEC, IMOB, and Assembly. They determine the election venue. Not when you just stand up, you go and pick a venue by yourself. Number two, who formed the faction? When Nyanwodo was the president, Uche Okuku was the secretary general, something happened. They suspended him. He formed a faction with Isu Gusoro. So he was in the faction. He has not even come back to the mainstream. He went to Isu Gusoro faction. He wanted to be the president there. When they accused him, he now became neutral. Okay, in this election, this one that you guys are talking of, did Uche Okuku pick form? So you did not pick form. You did not come for venue for screening. You said you are the president. My question to you, Chinedu, you did not pick jam form. All of a sudden, you now say that you are a graduate. You didn't pick jam form. You didn't come for jam to screen you. So, for me, there's no faction. Ask him all these questions. Let him tell you the truth. The truth will make, see, when you start calling your people this or Ohaneze, politician or Ohaneze, you are only shooting you are shooting yourself on the foot. Because you don't know the facts. Google this thing. Pick up your phone and verify these things. That is what is called journalism.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wait, hang on. Don't go yet. We need to ask you one or two questions. Just like you said, when I bring Uche Okuku on the program, I'm going to ask Uche Okuku the questions you posed. I'm definitely going to do that live on this platform, and I hope you will also be there to ask him yourself in case you're not satisfied. Now, I want to ask you this question, or start from you to solve the puzzle of the venue. You made mention of the NEC is the one that National Electoral Committee determines the venue of the election. Wonderful. There's no argument about that. Now, how can you, first of all, how are the delegates determined, especially the one that happened in Enugu? Who selected or elected the delegates? That is one question Ndigbo would like to answer. I get an answer from you. And secondly, Uche Okuku, you said, was suspended by Ohaneze Ndigbo during the time of Nyanwodo. But you didn't tell us exactly what happened, why he was suspended. Then finally, why did the so-called NEC choose Government House as a venue for the election instead of Imobi Ohaneze in Enugu? We would like to get these questions and answers. We get answers to this question, then you can move forward. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate. The questions are three, and I will answer all of them. All. If I did not answer anyone, remind me. I have time. I will answer you. But before I go ahead, I would like anytime you want to hold this program, remember that this is a very sensitive program you are holding. So many people will listen to you, and after this, so many people will see it in the Twitter and YouTube. So it's always good to get somebody who is well informed about this thing. I started following Ohaneze stuff when I was even in university, 2001.
That's when I started following them. Everything about Ohaneze, I know them. Number one, you say, how were they picked? Ohaneze election starts from every ward. I don't know where your ward is. From every ward, there is Ohaneze member. Those people among there will pick who will be the ward chairman. Among the ward chairmen, they will pick who will be the Ohaneze president local government area. From there, they will now pick Ohaneze president the states. From there, the states and all other people, they will now come to national to now pick who will be the national president. Now, most times, due to we, the Igbo people, we are not the people funding Ohaneze. So there's usually a consensus candidate because, for example, you, Chinedu, I don't know whether you pay dues to Ohaneze. If you don't pay dues to Ohaneze, you cannot contest and you cannot be voted for. Yes, you are an Igbo man, but nobody will vote for you because you are not eligible for vote. So that makes that those people that are paying the dues are the people that will be voted for. Two, because we don't have the financial stuff, so the people that pay the dues are the people that take those consensus candidates. For example, those state governors you are talking about, they are the people that are the major financiers. Is it correct? No. Is it the right thing? No. Until when me and you will start taking back Ohaneze, then we'll make decisions. So now, all states have a consensus candidate. If you look at all the 7 states, it is unopposed because in each state, they have already agreed among themselves, okay, this is who, let's say, for example, I'm from Abia State. Abia State will be the next president of Ohaneze. So because they are going to be the next president of Ohaneze, they will be zoned Deputy President General of Ohaneze to prime him. So now the state that is producing the president, which is now Rivers State, will have the president and another one, maybe assistant treasurer. So now, if it comes to Abia State, that deputy president general they will be under consensus. If there are 3 or 4 people that are contesting for it, the stakeholders in Abia State will say, okay, fine, this gentleman, you will go for me, the other one you will not go, or they will put it in their own vote, and then locally they will get a consensus candidate. That is what happened in Abia State. The gentleman there that is the president general in Abia State was the former Abia State president general, Abia State chapter in 2003 when Professor Joe Enugu was the president. You can see I'm calling names. That was 20 years ago. That president general, deputy president general now from Abia State was the president of Abia State, president general from Abia State in 2003. Okay, now that is how they get those people you see that will come and do the election. It is not anybody you just see, you come. Because those people you are seeing, everybody is an Igbo man, including me. But you don't pay. So if you don't pay, you don't vote. And if you don't vote, then we'll say it is the governors, the politicians. That is wrong. We should change that attitude. Number 2, why was he suspended? When Nyanwodo was the president, there's something that came up. That was during the time of Buhari. So they agreed, allegedly, I was not there, they agreed that they will vote for Ohaneze should support Atiku and P2B 2019. So that was what Imo passed as a resolution. So now they agreed. President General and every other person, they are going towards Atiku Obi ticket. Uchokuku was the person that said no and supported Buhari. When Buhari even came to Abia State, he was the one that used the microphone and said that Igbos support Buhari. My question to you is that Imo Obi had a decision. This is who we are going to vote for. Even if you don't like it, you have to follow Imo Obi, brother. Even if you don't like it, you keep quiet. You are not the President General. That is why, after that, they suspended him. Now, when they suspended, he moved and formed a faction. You're a journalist. In this sense, you suppose is there in the you pick your phone, you type all this, you get all these informations. In this digital age, nothing is hidden. He's a good man. He has fought a good fight, but see, you do things one by one. Number 3, or the third question you said why in government house? I have told you the NEC determines where election is, and it's not in government. They did not hold that election in government house. They held it in old government lodge. Old government lodge is different from government house. The new government house is where the current government parastatal, everybody is there. Old government lodge is where when they voted in Nyamoto, that was where they held it. So was it not government lodge? And moreover, you know all this insecurity and everything in the East. You have to do it in a place where senior citizens will be protected. You know the kind of caliber of people that were there? And if you hold it in a place that is not well secured, you know what can happen? That is the reason why they use a place that can be well safeguarded. It's not in government house. It's government lodge, old government lodge, that has a capacity of at least containing at least 500 people. Question, why did they zone the one for Opiozo in Imo State? Why did they do it in Owerri? Hope Uzodimma pleaded with Imobi and NEC to do him a favor and beg them so that they can approve Owerri to host it. That was why NEC, Imobi, and all the people that make decision approve that venue. My question to you, to him, I've asked you, did he pick form? Of course, you know the answer. No. Was he screened? Of course, you know the answer. No. Then why you, learned, well-educated, saying that somebody who did not pick form, did not come for the place for the venue, was not screened, is the president? It's not correct.
All right.
I hope I've answered your 3 questions. If there's any other thing, you can ask me. I'll answer you.
All right. Thank you very much. You have done justice to our question, and I like the way you answered the question very clearly, unambiguously. Okay, I like people who are straightforward in their opinion and unbiased, no matter whether I agree with you or not. Okay, because what you said there, to some extent, whoever that understands, that cares to know the truth, will know which one is true and which one is not. Thank you very much. Keep listening. More of the people are asking me some of the questions to ask you, but it's not something like I'm going to continue asking you and you repeating the answers again. But as the program continues, they're going to get the answer to the questions they are asking me to ask you. Then, to leave the line for other callers to call in and make their own contribution. Thank you very much for calling, my brother.
My final line is, I don't even like answering people. I've seen so many things people are writing. I don't answer. It's just that you, personally, I love your program. And the man says, okay, that is why I call in those 2 places. If not, I've seen it in AIT, and I said I didn't call. I watch all of them live. I don't want to call anybody. But this is the fact. Once you ask him these questions, he cannot answer it.
I will address all of that right here, because I have valid information of all of the things you make mention of. Thank you very much for calling. Now, we are still live on the program, Matters Arising, although we are racing against time, but we are going to do justice to this. If need be, we'll continue this program tomorrow, because this is very important to Ndigbo, to understand how their leadership is elected, how they emerged. Okay, with respect to our brother's questions and answers that he has given us, the Ohaneze Ndigbo leadership, like he said, you've had Mazio Bioko repeat exactly the same thing when he was explaining to Ndigbo and answering the same question that I asked. How do delegates emerge? How do you participate in Ohaneze Ndigbo program or election or activities? How are they funded? These are some of the pertinent questions people are not looking at. Okay, but our brother have answered it very well. Let us quickly take this call, then we'll come back again to take a swipe on what our brother said. Hello, good evening. This is BVI Channel 1. You are live on Matters Horizon. Let us have your own opinion on what is happening. Tell us your name and wherever you're calling from, and go straight to your submission.
Hello.
I'm speaking to you. Go ahead with your submission. Your name and where you're calling from.
Oh. Yeah, I'm Mr. Kinsley Ohaka from Ikwere, but I live in Italy. I'm Kinsley Ohaka.
All right, Kinsley Ohaka from Ikwere.
Yeah. So my contribution based on what is going on about the election for Ohaneze PM or PG, something of that nature. So I want to know, in Ohaneze forum, is there anything like constitution, a laid down constitution?
Of course, they do have constitution. Ohaneze Ndigbo has constitution.
Yeah. Yeah. So we need to go through the constitution so that the truth will emerge. Because based on what is going on about this election, we observe that there is something fishy. The election was not ordered free and fair, because if it had been a free and fair election, I don't think that there will be people murmuring for injustice or unfairness. Like in the issue of Ujokuku, he has been in Ohaneze forum for so many years. He has served for more than 30 years in that forum. I don't think that he's a novice in that forum. He has served as secretary and so many other positions in that forum. So somebody should not just come up and begin to say he did not pick form and other things. I think let's go into the constitution and know how all these things are being done. And also, these two people that participated, like even about 3 or 4 of them, let them call them happen about this election, because we cannot just be watching all these politicians and see them intimidate every Igbo people. And this is one of the problems that is causing maybe issue of identity crisis and so many other things that we are trying to fight. Because if all these things are being done in a proper way, I don't think that somebody will come and begin to argue on something. Because these things have been happening and happening. But for the fact that this has happened, and it is an eye opener now that everybody should be very much aware. We the Igbo should be very much aware, because we have the Hausa people. The Hausa people, their own thing, their organization and their forum, it doesn't occur this way. We also have these Yoruba people. It doesn't happen this way. Why Igbo? That whenever things is coming on our way, maybe God is bringing somebody that will lead us. We will obstruct that thing, and we will continue to suffer. So all these things should be addressed. If it is properly addressed, I don't think that people will be murmuring and maybe saying there is an injustice in the system. Let us know how to handle these issues, and let this be the last time that these things will happen. Because it's unfair that maybe because of people in the politicians' interest, because of political interest, you jeopardize the affair of the people. Why, knowing that this Ohaneze forum is a key point, and it's a point that will lead the Igbos to a great destination. So if it is being tampered, I think it affects everybody. It affects all Igbos. Maybe they have an interest for playing game on all these things. That's what I observe.
Okay.
It has been a thing that maybe a thing that will all go well for the interest of the masses.
All right.
I don't think there will be something that will be bringing all these issues. Maybe somebody will be crying out for injustice.
All right.
This is something we are doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our brother. And the other people who are calling, sorry about if you have been calling and you're unable to connect, just keep calling. We are going to take your call, okay? We are still live on the program. This is BVI Channel 1, and we are on Matters Rising, talking about Ohaneze and Ndigbo election, how their leaders emerge. All right? Hello, good evening. Hello. Good evening. Can you call back? Can you call back? Can you call back? I think we couldn't get you through. All right? You can call back later. We are live on the program, and we are bringing you this report live and direct. This is BVI Channel 1 Matters Rising, and we're talking about Ohaneze and Ndigbo, the election that happened, what transpired, and how to fix it moving forward. If we cannot take every call today, we will be repeating the program tomorrow so that we will, give more people the opportunity to air the opinion with respect to this, and perhaps look up for more prominent Igbo people that would speak on this very matter, because it's very important to us. We have people here who are calling and people who are dropping their comments. We acknowledge every one of you. Umene Diego Udebune. Thank you for joining. He said, on his own opinion, let us quickly take this call first, then we'll come back to him. Hello, good evening. This is BVI Channel 1. You are live and direct on Matters Rising. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Hello, BVI. Umene Diego Udebune calling from UK.
Oh, I was about even reading your comment. Now you're calling live. All right, go ahead.
Well, from my own observation, a very vintage position, but limited observation. Ohaneze and Ndigbo, or the politicians that made up of Ohaneze and Ndigbo, particularly the governors, they are against the outspokenness of Uche Okuku. They feel he's a man they can control, given his intimidating credentials. He has been, in the past, has worked for Ndigbo, even with the late Ikemba. So if you hear him speak about what he has done for Ndigbo, you will agree with me. But that is by the way. So when they then decide, like one of the caller was saying, the election is always done at Enugu. Then when he got to Were for late Professor George Obiozo, he said the electoral commission decides. So in that case, now just on the will, there are the whims and caprices of a politician.
No, he agreed on that. He said it very clearly that it is the politician that sponsors Ohaneze and Ndigbo. So you expect them to control and influence and manipulate whatever happens there.
So which means he didn't tell us, but that is by the way. To me, what I feel, the grudge, he may not say it aloud. Forget about suspending Uche Okuku. I'm not speaking for him, but I wish we will invite him. Uche Okuku said, you and I know that the most important thing to Ndigbo, due to our marginalization, we need extra state. We all agree on this. Ndigbo need at least one more state to balance up. He said during the time of Buhari came to Ohaneze, told them that I will make your June 12th a national holiday to appease the Yorubas. Ndigbo, I will give you people one more state. Then go and decide and tell me on the modalities, the state to carve out. He said all of them, Uche Okuku was then the Secretary General. He said all of them There were so many states. People were talking of Adada, Aba State, and all these things. He said they, Ohaneze, executive and Imobi, voted. The vote was in favor of Aba State. Aba State. But because he wanted Adada and the Adada didn't work, they refused to give Buhari feedback till today. So because Uche Okuku was against, he said they voted in favor of Aba State. So Buhari went ahead and declared June 12th national holiday, gave Abiola posthumous award, GCFR, and they appeased the Yorubas. Ndigbo, where is the state that Buhari told you, go and decide on one state and give to me? They voted for Aba State, Aba, with capital at Aba or wherever. Nyanwodo wanted the other state. This is what Uche Okuku said. That was what led to his suspension. Forget about anything. Then he now felt that they are not doing it right. So in the end, Ndigbo lost out. It will be interesting for you to dig into this. So all these things they are doing is just a mere fait accompli. We know that if they do open ballot or go around the whole of this Ndigbo, the number one candidate, both home and abroad, anybody wants is Uche Okuku because of what he stands for. This is the type of a person that can galvanize Ndigbo to realize their manifest destiny, wherever it may be. But all these ones politicians are doing is just to gang up and then they think that they are doing Uche. I mean, they want to punish Uche Okuku, but in the end, they are sinking Ohaneze. Let me eat here for now, but try and get the view of Uche Okuku. Bring him on. Let him explain all things for you. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you very much. We are going to bring Uche Okuku right here. As we've had him before, we're going to say bring him on this program so that more people can hear directly from him and tell the people what actually transpired, especially about what led to his suspension. All right? Okay, we are still live on the program. This is still BVI Channel 1 on Matters Horizon, and I think we have fast spent our day for today. For the want of time and the importance of this program, we are going to continue on it tomorrow. And perhaps reach out to Uche Okuku to hopefully be on the program with us to answer some of the important questions. As an Igbo man, this should concern you. This is exactly where your interest as an Igbo man in Nigeria is being determined. And for a long time, you and I know that the interests of Ndigbo have continued to be sacrificed at the altar of Ohaneze Ndigbo. Having said that, this is where I draw the curtain for today. Thank you for all of you who have called, all of you who have dropped your comment, all of you who are following, sharing. Thank you very much for believing on this platform. We're not going to disappoint you. We are going to make sure and do everything within our powers to inform you better. And undiluted truth is what we speak here. Okay? So for those who could not get through with their calls, we are very sorry. You have an opportunity to air your opinion. All right? So I will really appreciate every one of you. And Tundubisi, who is still with us here virtually, we are going to have his own closing remark before we wrap it up for tonight. Okay? We're going to bring him on to give us his own closing remark as we wrap it on tonight's edition on Matters Arising. Okay, we are still hoping that he comes up. And for those of you who have not yet followed this platform on BVI Channel 1, please do subscribe on BVI Channel 1 YouTube. Also, follow us on our Facebook and also on our Instagram. We'll be launching other programs and we'll be opening up our activities on TikTok and as well on X platform. We hope you will join us all there. NDBC, thank you very much for joining the program tonight. You've heard what everyone has said, both the callers, the comments, and all that. How do you react to it in summary as we wrap it up today?
Thank you, Chinedu. My response does go this way. We are not taking side with anybody. This platform is for public interest. As long as the individual meant well-beings well for the people, that is where our loyalty is. So we are not sentimental, we are not emotional, we are not politically correct, but we go for public interest and the good of the people. That is where our interest is. So We'll continue to speak the truth, no matter whose us is God. Thank you, my brother.
All right. Thank you very much, Ndubisi, for that submission. Thank you for joining, and we hope that you'll continue following, continue being part of the program, of which you will, because you are part of the family. All right, on this, we are wrapping it up on Matters Arising today. We hope to have you back again. And if we have Ucho Kuku on the program, we are going to let you know and continue in this discussion. Let us have your opinion as we continue in the discussion on the comment section on this platform. Thank you. And once again, Happy New Year. We expect this year to be better if we all engage in this campaign and advocacy for good governance, beginning from my own homeland, Igbo land, and by extension, Nigeria and Africa as a whole. I still remain as Suchinut Peters, the advocate for good governance, saying good night, stay safe, and God bless you.
One of my reasons for being here minus this is that I should come and ask Yeson Wike. This position of chairman had been zoned to River State, chairman of Ohaneze. Yeson Wike, the Igbo side should ask you, what is your interest?
I have no doubt that everyone in this room will love to see Ohaneze Ndigbo attain a bigger clout as the champion of Igbo interests.
Because it is now very clear that if we don't solve our problems ourselves, nobody will solve our problems for us.
Election was held on the 9th that culminated into the early hours of 10th of January 2025. In 2017, the Ohaneze elections were held in Enugu because the President General coming from Enugu, who emerged from Enugu, Chief Nyawodo, is from Enugu, and the election was held in Enugu. In 2021, it was the turn of Imo State to produce the President General. The election was held in Imo State. In 2025, it is the turn of River State to produce the President General. The election was held in Port Harcourt. The election was concluded in the wee hours of 10th of January 2025. I, Dean Uchechukwu Namokoko, former Secretary General Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide, I emerged victorious in that election.
Mr. Okuku.
I don't know about any election that was held in Government House in Enugu.